Back, second to last game. Another overall competitive game, but Papa held on. Veteran leadership reigns supreme. They take down Who Magic 60-47. Ray, once again, share your thoughts on tonight's outcome.
Um, Man, first things first, we gotta address Malik Henry. He might have had the highlight of the weekend, man. The drop step dunk, man, that was nasty. But yeah, like you said, man, just the experience and the veterans on Papa's team kind of carried them through. Hoop Magic, they fought. They made it a game, but yeah, just a couple bad stretches with a lot of turnovers. Papa was able to turn a lot of defense into easy offense. Getting live ball turnovers, getting out in transition, and converting those layups. Um, they had a flurry at the end of the first half that put them up double digits, and in the second half, Hoop Magic tried to fight their way back into it, but then another flurry for Papa where they kind of upped the defensive intensity and just kind of separated themselves. And really, those two stretches right there decided the game. And you see that a lot. You just have a team that goes through a couple rough patches, and if they're able to manage those situations a little bit better, then the outcome might be different. But hats off to Papa, they was able to get Who Magic a little flustered, a little trash talking going on, some mind games, and that showed itself on the court. So yeah, they was able to edge out the victory.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just think they controlled the game better overall. Once they even kind of got it wasn't even a big lead. Once they got up early in the first half, because most of the first half it was a defensive battle. No team was really making shots. It was they were missing bunnies. They was missing shots that guys we know normally make from just having watching them over the years or whatnot. But you know they played smarter. They slowed it down. They moved the ball, and they got guys shots where they were most effective. Whereas Who Magic was still trying to just, in a sense, first person open, take the shot, and that played right into the hands. So that when Papa finally got some offensive rhythm, what I'm saying, Jordan Harrison hit some threes. Hakeem Hart out of Maryland, he started getting it going. Obviously, Boo Jackson hit a few shots. Keno Lilly got involved. I love the way he controlled the game. Once they all, as a team, kind of got it going, they got their lead up to double digits, and they never really relinquished it, man. Hoop Magic got to figure out how they can come together and play a lot smarter brand of basketball. Ronald Polite, look, he went crazy in spurts where he was just unguardable, especially getting to the basket and scoring. But all in all, they just didn't play smart enough down shit. Malik Henry seemed like the George Mason guys carried them. Polite and Malik Henry, especially that dunk. Got a nice little photo. I'm sure it's gonna go around, man. And I'm sure they got it here on camera. It was nasty. It was just Shaq like dunk. You don't see so many 6'8", 6'9" dudes doing drop steps over a couple people. But outside those two, I can't really think of no one on that team that impacted the game consistently throughout the game. Maybe in short spurts here and there, but overall, it was really just those two. And once you got a team barrage from Papa, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion, despite Polite kind of waking up, in the second half and putting together a scoring bunch himself, man. But good win for Papa. I believe they're 2-0 on the weekend, and we'll see what they do moving forward. But before we go, man, who's your standout for today?
Um, I like what Hakeem Hart did. He was he made his presence felt, man. He showed his a little bit of versatility. He made things difficult at the basket on the defensive end. On offense, he got the ball inside and finished. He rebounded. He just kind of put his imprint on the game in a lot of different areas. And yeah, like a thing we've been seeing is if teams have a guy that's going to go for everything and try to get blocks, it's causing people to second guess. And that creates issues, man. You do a lot of work to get to the basket, but then you got to worry about some super athletic big coming out of nowhere to eat your shot up. It takes its toll, and yeah, I just like the overall impact he had on the game.
Same Hakeem Hart out of Maryland. Versatility, killed through Magic. And honestly, throughout the weekend, if anyone has been here, been watching or whatnot, it's been a problem for most, both opponents. It's hard for a big to match up with him. He's 6'7", 6'8", but he got strength with him. And has the skill set of a guard, but he can go down low and go to work as well. So you put a big on him, they're not quick enough. And if you put somebody like a wing on him, he's bigger than them. So he always has something he can go to make you pay as a team. And the one thing I liked about him is him rebounding the ball and moving it up the transition. Once again, who Magic had a couple of more low post type bigs, so that forced them out that comes on. They got to come out the lane on the perimeter. What does that do? You got free lane for all of his teammates. You know what I mean? Or free lane for him if he can get past his man, which oftentimes he did, man. So it was him just playing the ultimate chess match, and they had nobody that can match up with him, man. So it was his night, and he was a big reason why Papa came out victorious. And your X factor for today.
I'm actually gonna go with Andrew Washington, man. Like it was a point in the game where I didn't know he was in the game, but then you started hearing his voice, and that's pretty much where the game changed. He didn't have the offensive output he had yesterday, but he still had impact. Just with him talking not only to opponents but talking to his teammates, kind of directing traffic and telling them where to be, and basically being a coach on the floor. And that's when you kind of saw Papa kind of get into a rhythm and be consistent on the offensive end. And he just has if anybody's ever seen him play before, he has a big presence on the basketball court. So yeah, I was like I was surprised at first when I didn't realize he was in the game, but then I kind of looked away and heard his voice. I was like, oh yeah, and that's when things kind of turned around for them.
I'm gonna probably have two players. I like what Keno Lilly brought with his just being the natural floor general. Like when they were struggling to get the offensive flow, he was the one that got them going. And what I mean by that is turnovers, running the floor, throwing lobs to guys, and just controlling the game, man. Getting guys shots where they were most effective, and they got their offense going. And then obviously, like you said, Andrew Washington, man, he didn't really score a lot, but the mental game that isn't played as much in this era, compared to when we were growing up. Oh, he took a couple of their players out their game with that, and that's why it was a big X factor. I'm not gonna say his name. You'll probably see it say, but one guy struggled bad, and he let him know he was struggling bad. Every time he missed 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 0 for 5, talking to the crowd, and he got the youngest so flustered that they had to sub him out, and they needed him. You know what I mean? And he never really recovered mentally. That's the mental warfare I call it that a lot of people aren't aware of and don't play that much no more. And it can literally win you a game, which it did, because Papa didn't really have it going offensively, despite the talent that they had. Man, they were struggling offensively, but once a couple guys started getting going, got a few easy few easy baskets or whatnot, then um, Andrew got in the heads of a couple players, which deflated their team and forced other guys to have to take shots that they might not have taken had those other guys stayed in the game and get more aggressive. It might have been a closer game, but with him doing what he was doing, he didn't really need to score a point. That was like scoring 30, what he did. And Blue Magic never recovered, man. So all in all, man, it was an old school playground type win, man. So respecting him, man. I'm serious. Youngest better get that in their game. If I can take you out the game mentally, what you do physically don't even matter because you're not gonna be able to do nothing. You're just gonna be out there, man. So kudos to the guys. Kudos to Pablo for getting another victory. Last game, we'll be right back after this last game of the day with the same old recap, standouts, and X factors, and then we're gonna close things up.